Hi Cecily, so we're at Maker Faire 2007 and I was trying to get a little background on how you got into 3D crochet, if you have an interest in math and science, how you got to this point.
Well, without taking the risk of sounding really stupid about science, because I'm actually not educated in the sciences and the math, I've always been too distracted with artsy things to take too much time to do science things. But I've always been more of a crafty geek, theater geek girl, but I think there's a resonant thread between all geeks, and so I filled in my own math and science void by hanging out with math geeks and science geeks, which always, and this is a really good example of, I guess, a marriage of those two worlds. For me, I'm most interested in just making anything fun, and I think I carry the same gene as my great-grandmother, which is also to make things that are maybe even scary looking. And what I love about this is a great synergy for something. People who want to make garments don't necessarily want to make this because it would be a little too scary. But people who want to just sit down and play with yarn and have fun, which I think is what it's all about, can sit down and make these things. So it's a lot of fun. What I am really crazy about and maybe geekiest about is crochet, because I love, it's just my language. It's the thing I love to do. So I love any way to find anything to make anything with crochet. So whether it's making a big, crazy, ruffly, coral reef looking blobby thing, or making a planet or a sphere or a spiral or a really elegant sweater, I want to try it all. If I see something, I'm like, how am I going to crochet that? I've even looked at tree bark and tried to figure out how you would make the texture of tree bark.
Nice.
So for me, it's more the, oh, it's crochet, I've got to do it.
Okay, that's a follow-up for next year if you make tree bark.
Oh God, well, that was a bit of an obsession a few years ago. I let that one go.
So what do you plan? Where do you plan to go with this? What do you plan to do?
Well, I'm just always working on new things with crochet. I design garments and little bits and bobs for different magazines like New Crochet and Crochet Today, and I'm working on a line of patterns of my own. And I'm hoping to do some fun things like this that are, you know, like using spirals and things that are just fun to make, but also some things for people who want to make bags and sweaters and things like that.
Patterns?
Yeah, so I'm working on things that are kind of the more traditional patterns and things. And I have a personal project that's still on the drawing stage of making a fiber art solar system. So, because I love needle felting and knitting and sewing as well, so I think it would be really fun to kind of go back to 3rd grade and do that science fair solar system thing, except kind of interpret it through the fiber arts. I haven't decided what planet is best to be needle felted yet, or which planet is, you know, how I'm going to make a gaseous giant, but I think that'll be the fun. How am I going to represent a gaseous giant with yarns?
Well, we'll put it up and then we'll see if anyone has ideas.
Yeah, that would be fun too.